I'll let our younger friends continue their activities in the back. They look pretty. No, it's wonderful. I don't want to interrupt. Don't want to interrupt. It's wonderful. So this past 2 days, we, being myself and Pastor Dell and Jane, not you. Well, you, but you're not Jane. Jane's still inside, maybe. And Brandon, yes. We're at our Synod Assembly. For those of you who don't know, Union Lutheran Church, we are part of a much broader network of churches. We are locally called what's the York Conference. That kind of makes sense, right? So congregations in the York area. And then we have our Synod, which Synod means walk together. It's a word that helps remind us that we're all in this together, that we love, we serve together. So as Synod, we work together. And our Synod stretches from Fulton County to Franklin County, Adams County, York County, that's us, if you weren't sure, Lancaster County, all right? Then we go up to Lebanon, Dauphin, and Perry, and Cumberland. I almost forgot Cumberland. Don't forget Cumberland. Cumberland and then Perry. Right? So we have, about 215, 20 congregations in that general area. I always kind of say if you're watching the news and they show the weather map and like the general, that's pretty much our Synod. Right? The lower south central Pennsylvania. So we get together once every year, just like as a congregation, we have congregational meetings. We have a Synod meeting. And so it's called Assembly. Our bishop leads it, and we have work that we do, actions that we vote on, and we have opportunities to learn together and worship together with people from all across our area. We had that opportunity the last 2 days. Confluence of Christ was the theme, which is fancy word for water, like all the waters coming together, because most of us are all part of the Susquehanna area, right? The Susquehanna River, kind of all the different streams and rivers flowing there together. So they had people bring little vials or cups of water from their local streams and pour them into this big bowl. I made sure not to touch it because probably there was a lot of flesh-eating bacteria in there. But I love the idea, right? That all of us coming from different places are united by Jesus. Jesus brings us all together as Christ's body, as his family, we're brothers and sisters and siblings of Christ, as we work together, love together, and we boost each other up because all of us have different gifts and abilities that we can bring together. That together we truly are stronger than any individual one of us could ever be. And so we give thanks for that. And I give thanks for everybody here for it's the same thing. All of us in this space today bring something to the table. Bring something, gifts, abilities, knowledge, experiences, skills, assets, whatever it may be. That what I can do, some of you maybe can't. What you can do, I might not be able to do. And that together we can truly serve God and serve others in ways that I couldn't do it by myself or you couldn't do by yourself. That's the value of what it is to be community. And that's why every single person here is called by God to be here together so that we can truly serve and follow what God has called us to do as individuals and as a congregation. And one of the things that we celebrate as part of our Synod Assembly, again, is people coming together and including everyone who wants to be a part of this work. And that is something we want to celebrate and recognize today as well here. That we truly believe, as I said, everybody has something to bring, and we want everyone to feel truly included, not just welcomed, but included, to be part of the community, to be part of what we do, and to bring their ideas, their expressions, and things that can help us to do those things even better. It's truly an opportunity for us to see, and in our gospel reading today, we see Jesus doing the same thing, giving us that example, inviting people in, including people in his ministry that otherwise most, quote-unquote, good people wouldn't associate with. First, we have the tax collector, right? Why do people hate tax collectors?
Because it makes you broke.
It makes you broke.
I think so.
Yeah. They take your money. Now, as a church and as people who participate in the country or society, yeah, we have an understanding that we contribute. And we should all contribute so that everybody has the opportunity to live the best life they can. What makes it extra bad that the people don't like is that these tax collectors, who do they work for?
The government.
The government. And for the people of Jesus' time, what's the government that's oppressing them? Rome. It's not their own government. It's not Israel. It's Rome. Rome is occupying them. Right? Rome is squeezing everything they can out of them because they're just money for them. They're resources. Tax collectors then have the backing of Rome. If you don't do it, Roman soldiers are going to show up. And so they also know that they can get away with taking advantage of you. They can charge extra. They can squeeze a little bit more out of you just for their own benefit. And that was really the reason why most people couldn't stand the tax collectors, because they cheated you. They took advantage of you. It was abusive. Right? They were being used in what?
By the Roman government.
Yep. Used by the Roman government, exactly.
Yes.
And so, you're right, that these Jewish people who were the tax collectors were traitors, because they were working for the Roman government. So that's why it's kind of interesting. You get sinners and tax collectors, and tax collectors are so bad that we're going to separate them on their own, right? So Jesus invites him to come. And the Pharisees, the religious leaders who are really up on the law, they aren't happy about this because, wait a second, you're inviting people who don't follow the quote-unquote rules. You're including people that we see as sinners, bad people, people to stay away from. And it's not that Jesus is inviting them to say, hey, do whatever you want, doesn't matter. If you want to cheat people, take advantage of them, hurt them, go for it. What Jesus is saying is, come and learn, you are invited, and I invite you to change what you are doing so that you can better serve God and serve and love your neighbors. It's not a sin to work for the government. The sin was that you were using that position to manipulate and hurt people, to be selfish. So inviting people that if you're going to do the job, but don't hurt, manipulate, extort, don't do those things that make things even worse. Right? Jesus is inviting them into relationship, to be part of this community. And then we get, as he's traveling, right, this leader comes to him and says, my daughter has died. But if you come and lay your hands on her, she'll live. She has this faith, right, that we hear. And it's not saying that, well, if you just have enough faith, then somehow you're going to miraculously be healed. That's not the message we're getting. We're getting that she has an understanding of who Jesus is and what he's been doing in other places to know that, hey, if I come to him, there's a good chance he can heal my daughter. So trusting just in the work that he's done, that it can continue to happen. And we'll get to that even more a little bit. Then we get the woman who's been hemorrhaging blood, who comes and just realizes if she just touches his cloak. Again, she's heard about the miracles he's done. She doesn't know who he is necessarily. She doesn't profess that he is the Son of God necessarily. She just knows that he has healed people. And so she comes, then she has a good chance, and that cloud can stay there. Oh man, I ruined it. I jinxed it. She knows there's a good chance if she just does it because she's seen it happen to others or heard the stories about others, that it'll happen for her. So she touches the cloak. Jesus knows, realizes it. Your faith has made you well. Again, trusting that Jesus can do what it is he has done. She also is someone who is excluded. Just like the sinners and tax collectors, she also is someone who's not invited. Because according to the purity laws, if you are bleeding, so yes, women, sorry for that time of the month, you are unclean. You are not able to go to the temple. You are not allowed to touch other people. People are not allowed to touch you because that would make them unclean. She's had this for years. She's not allowed to be in community for years. She's not allowed to touch or be touched for years because it hasn't ended. Jesus once again shows that this person who has the gall to touch him, because by touching him, what is she doing to him?
Uncleaning.
Making him unclean. Exactly. Which means he now has to go through the whole ritual to become clean. Or he couldn't go to the temple. She's got the guts to go up and touch him, trusting that this will help her. And does Jesus turn around and yell and scream at her, and how dare you touch me? How dare you make me unclean? No. Jesus shows compassion and mercy. Once again, someone else who the community, who society says is not worthy, is not invited, Jesus has invited in and made part of the community. Then we get to the leader's house, right? The daughter is dead. There are people there making a commotion. Why? It's a cultural thing. We don't often know. There were people whose job it was, even paid to do it, to be professional mourners. Professional mourners. So they would come and they would cry for somebody, wail for people, so that it would help, right? Recognize someone's death. Jesus says, nope, she's not dead, she's asleep. Go away. And what do they do to Jesus? Laugh at him. Because it's too crazy. No, she's dead, bro. Right? Saying she's not dead, she's dead. They laugh at Jesus. Which also shows us that things don't always go the way we would hope. People won't always trust and believe and understand what we're trying to say or what's going on. Even Jesus gets mocked. Even Jesus gets laughed at. But Jesus once again goes in, calls her to stand up. She stands up. She's alive. Now, again, as I said earlier, it's not about, well, if you just pray hard enough, if you just have enough faith. Because if that was the way it worked, then why was Jesus killed? Or why were the apostles martyred? Or why, quote unquote, as we said before, do bad things happen to, quote unquote, good people, right? The promise isn't that nothing will ever happen to us in a bad way. The promise is that Christ is always with us, and that even if this life and the horrible things that can come from it takes our life from us, then we are always in God's love and in God's care, and we always have the gift of God's salvation. So Jesus shows what God is capable of. Jesus shows who he is through these actions. Jesus shows who God is through these actions. Jesus doesn't heal every single person that was ever sick or died. Jesus does these miracles to show who he is as God. God walking among us. God who promises to still be with us right now and in this place. God who promises that we are loved, that we are included, and that there's nothing in this world that can separate us, nothing we can do that can separate us from God's love. It's a promise. No matter how bad we think we are, things we've done or regrets we may have, God's love is always with us forever. Nothing, not even our death, can take that away. So the promise we see is a Christ who knows the world, who walks with us, journeys with us, right? Like Synod, I said, walking together. We are in this love and this ministry together. And God walks with us, even in the midst of hardship, to show us that death doesn't have the final say. That because Jesus gave his life for us, because Jesus died on the cross, because Jesus defeated sin and death, we have hope, even in the midst of her hardship, adversity, or pain. And part of being this community walking together is to love and support each other and, yes, hold each other accountable so that we can live the best life that God intends for all of us, to enjoy God's creation and to be in community together. Amen?